Mallory just wants. Oh, hi. Oh shit. Sorry.
Well, here we go.
Yes.
Test. Are you on?
I think so.
Test.
Yes, I'm right here.
Well, thank you. It is 3 o'clock, everybody, and welcome to the Culinary Plaza here at the Colorado Christmas and Gift Show. I'd like to thank our stage sponsor. It is Power Home Remodeling. They are exterior only. They've got a table right over there to my right with the silver Christmas tree. Thank you, Power Home Remodeling. Also, my name is Greg Matchett. I'm the food fanatic chef from US Foods. I will be your MC, and you can just raise your hand, and I'll come over to you, and you can ask any question you like. I'd like everybody here to welcome to the stage Chef Shahin. Shahin. And Chef Shahin, it's your stage. Tell us about you. Tell us about your restaurant. Let's give Shahin a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Yay.
That's what I'm talking about right there. We need energy up in here. All right.
Well, welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. My name is Chef Shahin. I'm the executive chef and partner of Salati Street Food in Northfield, Stapleton, in the shops of Northfield. We opened this concept about 2 years ago, and it started with a dream that we had of walking down the streets of Italy and falling in love with one street dish that is called a piadina. The piadina is basically like a flatbread sandwich, and the main protein that we fell in love with is the porchetta. The porchetta right now, it's a trendy protein that you will see in a lot of restaurants and a lot of rotisseries, basically in downtown. And there's no big science behind it. It's basically a very rustic protein. It's a pork loin wrapped with a pork belly. All right, but there's little secrets that I'm gonna share with you guys in order for you to try it at home, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for the holidays, for any occasion really. And you can use it as a main dish, just using the porchetta as a medallion, or you can use it very thinly sliced and then use it for sandwiches, for pastas, even for salads. All right, so that's what we're gonna try. And we did a little holiday edition for you with a apricot chutney. A chutney is basically a sauce that is reduced, and it's very similar to a jam or a marmalade. All right, so it has that sweetness, but also that tartness with it. All right? So,
Chef, before
yes.
you go too far,
Of course.
he's being very humble. So I read up on you a little bit, and we've been talking up here. So recently, you're coming to us from the TV show Chopped on the Food TV network, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. You've cooked for one of my all-time favorite chefs and role models, Joel Robuchon.
Yes, sir.
And then you've worked at several embassies across the world. So can you give us a run-through of your resume?
Of course.
Okay. It's
So-
got some street credibility right here, folks.
So yeah, to start with, I am half Mexican, half Persian. My parents met in London. Then the revolution of Iran started. They moved to Mexico City, and that's where everything started to happen. I grew up with a very international background, and that gave me the tools to develop my culinary flavors and different expos of different foods, and my passion started growing. By doing that, I went to the CIA to do my gastronomy degree, and then after that, I became the executive chef of the British and the French embassy in Mexico City. By doing that, the French embassy and I became really good friends, and they gave me my scholarship to do my master's degree in hospitality with Joel Robuchon in Monte Carlo. Joel Robuchon is the most awarded chef in the world, and he gave me the tools to basically develop what I have done till today. After that, I started traveling, eating all the street food, and I think and I believe that all food and flavors come from the streets. If you want to try the real flavors of a country, go to the streets, don't be afraid. Try everything that you see, and then from there you're going to understand why the flavors of certain countries and certain dishes became like that. Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. I know the deal. If you don't know Chef Shahin, what's your last name?
Afsharian Camposano.
If you do not know that name now, mark my word, you're going to know his name, because that resume, and with your passion and wind in the sail, you're going to know his name over the next 10 years and 20 years. You got a long career in front of you, and Yeah, you're going to be up there, man. So congratulations. It's a pleasure
you.
to have you here.
Thank you.
All right.
So we moved to beautiful Colorado, and I started working for the Root Down Group, and with them, Root Down, I opened Ophelia's, and they wanted me to be the executive chef of Linger. I didn't take that position because I decided to join Salati. The dream of Salati, which is the restaurant that we represent, my partner is here, and also my beautiful staff supporting us. It's a family-owned concept, and we're the only family-owned local restaurant in the shops of Northfield. This started as a dream in order for us to show the real flavors of Italy, and it became an Italian fast casual. Little by little, I started developing the culinary program, and then we became a fine dining too. So for lunch, from 11 to 4, we're a fast casual. You get all the gourmet flavors, all the sauces, every protein that we make in-house, but you get it fast and not very expensive. Our lunch starts from $9.99. And then we offer salads, piadinas, pastas. And then at 4 p.m., we become an Italian fine dining. All the dishes that we have a little twist with that international flavor that I want to bring. Of course, respecting the techniques and the ingredients of Italy with a little bit of French ingredients and a little bit of flair here and there in order for you guys to get different dishes of the Italian industry that everybody's used to. So I invite you to join us. We're open every single day from 11 a.m. to 9 to 10 p.m. We have a full bar and a beautiful wine program also. On Wednesday, we have wine seminars. So you can go, have a seat, enjoy good 3-4 wines, and we will explain you about the wines, why they pair good with food, why is that wine, and that's something that we're trying to also share with you guys, a little bit of the knowledge that we have with you and the passion that we have for food and beverage.
That is so cool. You are creating a culinary culture around your restaurant, and that is the key to long-term success. Are you on the internet?
We are in the internet.
Okay.
We're SalatiItalianStreetFood.com.
Okay.
And also you can join us in Facebook, Instagram, go to our webpage, visit us. That's our webpage right now. And we try to always keep it fresh and just keep things new for you guys. And also you can follow me in Facebook and Instagram and see what I do, where I am, because I'm eating every single moment and sharing every picture with you guys too.
That's awesome. And we can follow each other. So Marianne was asking me, where should I go to dinner tonight? My answer?
Salati Italian Street Food, for sure, yes.
You're my new favorite restaurant, and I
yes.
haven't even been there, and I'm ashamed of myself for not going. I'm going.
You have to,
Yeah,
and everything I can guarantee is as fresh as it gets. We use a lot of local produce also. One of them is Polidori sausage that they gave a little demo here. And we use Hormel, Redbird for our birds. So we try to use everything as natural, antibiotic-free, without you guys paying the crazy prices that it's becoming this trend too. So sometimes you're a little limited to use those gourmet ingredients because the prices are just crazy. So we absorb that cost in order for you guys to enjoy. And like I say, we do that because we eat there every day. So I will never offer you guys something that I eat every day that is not good for me. So, yeah.
One more question for me.
Sure.
I know you got to get going on your
No,
demo.
you're good.
Check this out. Tell us how you got into the industry. How did our industry get so lucky to have somebody like you join our cult?
Well, I have always been passionate about food. I've always been the chubby kid that eats absolutely everything that just pass its way. My father really wanted me to get a bachelor's degree, and I was lucky enough to go to a university that had a bachelor's degree designed for chefs. So by doing that, just little by little, life just taken me into different paths of the way. And I do not consider myself a chef of just Italian cuisine or Mexican cuisine or Persian cuisine. I try to do a little bit of everything. And if you guys join us, you're gonna see that through our dishes in this restaurant too.
Sounds good, Chef. Take it away.
Thank you. So as I was saying, the porchetta, it's a traditional dish. You guys are gonna see 3 stages of it. We're gonna start with the raw pork, then we're gonna see the finished kind of stage, and then we're gonna do the tasting with a very thinly sliced porchetta. So the porchetta, as I was saying, is basically a pork loin wrapped with a pork belly. The biggest secret for the pork is basically to cure it, and that's what we do 24 hours before we do the marination of it. To cure the pork, we just grab the loin, we open it as thin as we can, and I also have some recipes here, and you can take them with you. I did some photocopies, and so basically we open it, and you guys are gonna see how I cure it, and I put a lot of salt on it. Pork is one of those proteins that absorbs a lot of salt, and don't be afraid of using your salt with your proteins. They need it. All right, so you guys are gonna see a little bit. Then we're gonna do a marination that we have the final product here. Inside the marination, you can do it either on your blender or food processor. The main ingredient, of course, is garlic. Then we have rosemary, basil, parsley, cilantro, dry Italian herbs, because that adds, once the Italian herbs are dry, they transform. So they're not the same flavors as this as the dried ones. And then some oil. You put everything in your food processor and it becomes a paste. To this paste, you don't need any salt, pepper, anything. It's just basically everything that I told you plus oil. We do a kind of like in Argentina they call it chimichurri, which is that kind of marination. Once we have all those ingredients and our paste, we can start working with our raw proteins. Like I said, of course, this is a restaurant scale, but you can go a lot smaller. This is our pork belly. Our pork belly, you're gonna see it like this. It's basically where bacon comes from. The only difference with bacon, it's cured and smoked and sometimes it's just cured with salt. So what I did, I just turned it the other way and opened it with our knife to become kind of a butterfly effect. This is where we start. This is where we start marinating our porchetta, basically with kosher salt. As you see, I'm generous with it. Don't be afraid of using your salt. Once you create a crust of salt, you're gonna fold it back up, put it in a container, leave it in your fridge for about 1 day, all right? It's gonna start losing all the excess water and sometimes that funky flavor that pork has. This is how you're gonna cure it in order for it to just really express itself without having sometimes that bitter flavor of the pig. So this is our belly. Now we have our pork. Our pork has already been cured for 24 hours. So if you see, it changed a little bit of the color of it.
That's the pork loin.
This is the pork loin, exactly.
Okay.
And I score the pork loin. How do you score it? So basically, we can demonstrate it in this side. You have your pork. You just grab a sharp knife. You basically just go on top of it without penetrating to the other side. You can do diamond shape, square shape, small, big. That's up to you, and depending the patience and time that you have, you can do basically the shape that you want.
Well, the one up here is perfect diamonds, like a grill mark on a steak. Good job.
So we have that. And then, let's leave it here because I'm gonna put it back. Yeah. So then, after it's perfectly salted, we are gonna make usage of black pepper. Black pepper is gonna be the main ingredient that is gonna give the spice to your pork. A lot of people that eat it think that I add chilies or something like that. No, it's not that spice of a pepper. It's the spice of a serrano pepper or jalapeno. It's the spice of the pepper. There is only 3 types of pepper. There is green, white, and black pepper. The pink pepper is a pepper wannabe that has a little characteristic to it, but it's not from the pepper tree. All right? The black one, it's black because it's dried and aged. So basically, again, don't be shy.
And a green peppercorn is a young black peppercorn.
A young, fresh peppercorn.
Really pungent.
And then the white one is a peppercorn that is dried, but without the peel of the black pepper. or with the peel of the black
We
pepper.
went to the same school.
I know, right?
We're like, I do all that with, yeah, I love it. This is great.
So you guys see, I'm not shy about the pepper, all right? So this is really what's gonna give the flavor for your porchetta. Once you have that, make sure that you use all your marination, or once the one that you have left over, don't use it because it's gonna be contaminated one way or the other. Unless, again, you have all the patience to grab a spoon and scoop it out, but I like to use my hands.
That's the best spatula anyway.
Yes. So you start going.
So that's cilantro,
Parsley,
basil,
rosemary, basil. You can
garlic,
use sage.
oil.
You can use fennel. So basically, all the Italian herbs in the recipe that I have up here, you're gonna see everything that you can use for it. All right. So we have that. We're gonna turn it around. Black pepper again.
I was at Reading Market in Philadelphia, right? Who's been to Reading Market in Philadelphia? There had to be 10 different vendors selling porchetta.
Right now is a big thing.
It's a big thing right now. This
Yep.
was like 6 years ago, but still, it was a big thing. And it was so delicious. All of them were so good. I wish I could just make this all the time.
It's very easy to make it. Just have to really find the right ingredients. You can buy pork belly and pork loin basically anywhere right now. Of course, there's nothing like local farmers market. There is a lot of them going on all year round, so you can look at them online. And yeah, that's the best pig, the one that has been raised with love and patience in one way. It's going to be a little bit pricier, but you guys won't regret it. All right, so now we're going to start the rolling. We have the pork belly in the bottom. Then we're going to do the pork loin on top of it. And again, it's very easy due to the size of the porchetta. We don't have to tie it up. You don't have to do anything unless you have a rotisserie. Then yes, tie it up. But if not, just basically grab it.
Oh, wow, that gets big
You're
quick.
yeah, it's a big, big piece. So you guys see, the pork belly's facing up. Why is it facing up? The fat of the pork belly is gonna help us protect the loin that has no fat, so it doesn't get dry. This is one of the most important steps. When you have it rolled, you can put it in any of your containers. You guys see here? It's like perfectly the size of this container is for this. This is about 22 pounds of porchetta. And then we can add more salt on top of the pork belly. This is gonna give us the crisp that we want and that beautiful crunch for your porchetta. We are gonna cook this porchetta for about 8 hours for 220 degrees. Why so long? Why so low the temperature? In order for us to render all the fat of the pork belly. If we don't do it like that, you're gonna have chunks of fat that you're gonna be just basically chewing on them. I have had people going to restaurants and they order pork belly and they're like, oh, this is so fatty. It is the nature of pork belly. It is a fatty part, the fattiest part of the pig. So that's why we're gonna cook it for 8 hours, 220 degrees. Or you can cook it a little bit faster in a higher temperature. And basically just, that's your preference and you can start playing with it. A lot of people maybe don't like the crunch and they only like the softer version of the porchetta. That's up to you, all right?
And you said we should make this ahead of time, correct?
Yes, you can make this ahead of time. You can make it 2 days before, even have your perfect marinated already like this, your porchetta, have it in the walk-in cooler, and then whenever it's Christmas, New Year's, or Thanksgiving, just pop it in the morning in your oven, and then it's gonna be ready for dinner or lunch.
I
Okay?
might make this for Christmas instead of
And
a
that's
roasted
why-
prime rib.
That's why I wanted to share it, because a lot of people, we don't have a lot of ideas and we stick to our traditional turkey, prime rib, ham. And I think porchetta, it's one of the best protein choices that we have, and it's something new for us.
Yum.
You can reach, you can be 165 and over, all right?
The question was, what do you need to pull it out at 165?
Yeah, 165 is good. You can go, again, as high as you want. Some people I have found also that like to cook it a little bit longer and produce a drier porchetta, and they like that. So that's, again, it's up to you, but yes, don't go under 165.
Good
All right?
question.
So we're just gonna move this out of the way.
No problem. Dun, dun, dun. Chef,
Yes.
what's your favorite season to cook in? If you've worked with Joel Robuchon and all over the world, you know what? You're really in tune with seasonality. Do you have a preference for North America, or like if you're in the Mediterranean, like do you like spring? Do you like fall, and why?
For the Mediterranean, spring, due to the fact that I can get more fish. I love cooking fish, so that's one of my specialties. And yes, the usage of fish, swordfish, mahi-mahi.
John Dory.
Yes, even rockfish right now that it's super trendy too. So it's a little bit more available and tangible. Eels, it's something that I really enjoy to cook. So
Did you say heels?
Eels.
Oh, eels. Okay,
Yes.
got it. Right.
Yeah, and
Those little snakes that.
eels and heels.
Eels and heels. Right.
And then here in America, I really enjoy cooking in fall and winter. I think it's beautiful. I really get that feeling of Christmas, that tradition of Thanksgiving that I have learned through the years. I think it's beautiful, and again, the usage of vegetable roots, chutneys, marmalades, marinations, and that warmth of when the family comes together, I really enjoy it. So yes.
Cool.
Yes, for sure.
Other questions for Chef?
So we're gonna clean a little bit over here, our mess.
Can I ask you another question while you're cleaning?
Any questions right now so far? No?
I got another one for you. So share a moment with us that you're most proud of in your career. I mean, I'm sure there's many, but does one stand out to you?
I have two of them. One of them was when I was with Joel Robuchon. We got awarded our third Michelin star. It was a work that we did. We dreamt about it. Everything was revolving about the Michelin star. And from 1 star, they gave us the 3 stars. And once you're a part of that 3-star Michelin star as their team, you get awarded one in one way that you can travel with around. That has opened the doors of a lot of different restaurants and gastronomic features, and that I'm very proud. And the other one has been Chopped. Chopped, the Food Network, working with them has been amazing. And it was basically started as a game. One day we were very slow in the restaurant. I went online, applied for fun, and then I was on TV. So that was very, very fun. It was something that I never knew the dimensions of it. I thought basically that I was gonna just go, cook a little bit and leave. It was 16 hours during the shooting and of the video, and it was crazy. I caught my finger in the middle of the competition. We kept on going. So yeah, it's just
Very
you can't
cool.
control it. Yeah.
Very cool. I always think it's weird on Chopped. They're like, here, a coconut, some gummy bears, chicken, and like a summer squash. Go. And it's like, really?
Yes.
Nobody's putting these things together.
And the kitchen is very big. It's like basically all this stage is the size of the kitchen, and on TV you see something small. So when you go there, I understand like what I saw on TV. Once you're there, you're basically dancing around, jumping from one side to the other. You have 20 minutes. You don't know what's going on. Your first round is at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then you have all the pressure of the cameras. You have like 30 people following you. So it's crazy. We see the fun part of it, and sometimes even me as a chef, I'm like, oh, how dumb. He should have done this. But even having the best resume and the best working techniques and the best everything, it's not enough. You have to have a lot more to win that kind of competitions. And so, yeah, those two have been
luck.
Yes.
It's like playing poker. You know?
It is luck.
But what does luck have to do with poker?
I know, right? So we're gonna continue while we have, let's imagine we put our porchetta in the oven already in there. We're gonna continue doing our chutney. I have this chutney, I already started it. So basically it's dry apricots, sugar, water, salt, pepper, a splash of vinegar. That's basically it, all right?
What kind of vinegar do you like?
You can use apple vinegar, works very well because it does not as pungent as the white vinegar. So the apple vinegar works perfect.
Good.
So basically, you're just gonna start boiling everything. Then you're gonna put it in your blender. Be careful with hot elements in your blender because it steams up and then your blender will explode on you. So you can start very slowly so it can start working itself out. And then you create, basically what you're gonna do is some marmalade or a jam.
So can we go back to that really quick?
Yeah, for sure.
So if you've got a blender, are you saying that if I put hot soup in my blender to the top, put the lid on, and crank that puppy up, I'm going to have a problem?
Yes, you will,
Why?
for sure.
The blender company didn't tell me anything.
Well, though, you can sue the blender company. No,
what
I'm
do I
kidding.
need to do?
Yeah, so just be careful. Don't fill it up all the way to the rim. Even if you have time, you can cool off your soup first, or just try to play with your temperature. But never put things that are boiling hot in your blender, put the top, it becomes pressure, and then you have a layer of steam that is just gonna explode and burn yourself.
There's only one good way to check that theory out.
Try it.
Try it.
All right,
You'll only do it once.
So we have our chutney here. Can we see it? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys see it's kind of chunky, all right? We're gonna heat it up a little bit so we can try it with our porchetta.
So are chutneys big in Persian cuisine or Mideastern cuisine?
You know what? They are.
Yeah.
They are. Persian cuisine, there's only one Persian restaurant in Colorado, and it's called Surina. So if you guys want to go, I totally recommend it. Iran is the only country in the Middle East that is not Arab. They're Persians. So the food is completely different than the Arab cuisine or Indian cuisine. They still use a lot of elements of spices, but it's a very healthy cuisine. They do a lot of stews, steamed rice, but they make usage of a lot of elements of sweet, savory, sour in one dish. So the most similar kind of cuisine that I find with is even sometimes Chinese. All right, so Iran is considered Asia at the end of the day, so they do use a lot of rice, and they use the same rice, basmati or jasmine rice. So I totally recommend for you guys to really, it's one of the most beautiful cuisines of the world. Of course, one of the most beautiful cuisines also is Italian and Mexican. What can I say, right?
It's the best of
a little bit of everything. So once we have our chutney, you can reduce it again as much as you want. You can make it as liquid as you want, as chunky as you want. That's your choice and preference. All right, so we don't really have a basic rule. And if you get lazy, if you don't have time, just buy a marmalade of apricot, put it in a pan, put a little bit of water, salt, pepper. You can do some rosemary, heat it up. That's your chutney. There you go. That's all you need.
Chef, I know you know what a gastrique is. When I make chutneys and I have the time, I start out with a gastrique. Do you want to walk us through a gastrique?
For sure, yeah. So the gastrique is also it's like a reduction of your vinegar first. You can do it with shallots, you can do it with garlic. So you reduce your vinegar for it not to be, again, as pungent, but for really to develop that characteristic note of vinegars. And play with vinegars. Vinegars and cured ingredients are super important for our cuisines. And sometimes those are the flavors that you go to a restaurant and you're like, whoa, how can I achieve this? It's basically the reduction of this sauce, the reduction of this vinegar. So it's not big science, but it's our little secret. And that's why us as chefs, we're not shy of sharing ingredients or recipes. In one way or the other, it's never gonna taste the same. And that's why I always give you the freedom to you play with it. There is not an exact recipe or rule that you have to follow. If you think that's the best and that's the flavor that you want to achieve, that's amazing. As long as you're happy with what you're serving and eating.
Wow, well
Yes,
said.
for sure.
Well said. Seriously.
And now let's imagine after 8 hours we've been desperately waiting for our porchetta.
I'm desperately waiting.
And now we have this.
Do you want me to move that chutney? Ah, very nice.
So
Bon
this is-
Appetit magazine, where are you now?
This is our porchetta. This is our finalized product. Again, from 22 pounds, this became about a 15-pound porchetta. All right? So you can leave it in a log. You can just grab it, then cut it in front of your friends. You can do slabs. You can do it super thin. And then all the juice that you have in the bottom, you're gonna see two separations. You're gonna see the fat level, and then you're gonna see like the little juice. You can use that as a sauce. Don't be afraid about the calories. Some people have also this idea that fat makes you fat, and it's not. What makes you fat most of the time is carbs. All right, so that storage of carbs that your body just produces it to sugar. Of course, if you eat saturated fats every day, like all the juice of the porchetta, yeah, you're gonna have coronary problems or something like that. But this is not, it's not real. What like, oh, the fat of the meat is the thing that's making me fat. It has other results, but it's not what gives us our beautiful love handles. So.
It takes a long time to digest, but you
For
could
sure.
do something with that.
Yes, you can reduce it. You can even add it to your sauce if you want. You can emulsify.
Make a roux for your bean soup.
You can make a roux. The roux is basically you just grab the same amount of butter with the same amount of flour, make this little paste, and then you create like a gravy. And so there's limitless. In our kitchen, there's never waste. So always transform. Even the peels of your vegetables, you can do soup, you can do stocks, you can do anything with it. So, and that's something that I really believe for us to transform, not to waste, and really have respect for the ingredients that we use. Unfortunately, me traveling the world, it has been one of the countries that waste the most. And I have tried with the places that I've worked, people that I talk to, for them to learn and understand that there is a lot of passion and difficulty to get all the ingredients that we have in our hands today. We're lucky, we're blessed to have such a big amount like we have in America, and let's take care of it. Let's create that unity of food, mind, and soul at the same time. It's really important. Yes, for sure. Thank you.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, no, it's very,
true.
very important. A lot of people don't understand what goes behind a banana, and it's crazy. You can investigate, and it's amazing how much passion, love, and need we have to respect every ingredient that
Chef,
we use.
I got no problem paying a lot of money for good food.
That me either. But it takes a lot. Like some people sometimes say, oh, this is very expensive. And there's a reason why we cost things the way we do. Good quality products, good techniques, good service, good chefs will have a price. And again, once you get involved a little more, it's like these beautiful products that we have, the jerky that is just made from a local little place, and then the jams, and it takes a lot of time and passion. So try to understand that. I do not discard the places that, yes, take advantage of certain prices, but most of the time, everything costs a lot, and more like the respect that we try to offer our chefs. We're one of the worst paid industries as cooks. So in my restaurant, we try to really price everything right in order for us to take care of our staff and for them to be happy and understand the passion that goes behind food. And you guys are our biggest supporters, and we really appreciate it.
Chef, I got a quick one.
Yes.
When you were working with Joel Robuchon, did you pick up any tips that you might want to share with us? I mean, he's a pretty old guy who's been around. I'm sure he's got some tricks up his sleeve.
He has been my worst nightmare.
That means he's his best chef ever.
He has been the best chef ever. You guys know Gordon Ramsay? That's how he works. So my first day, I present a plate for him, grabbed my plate, on my face, exploded in front of me. He said it was rubbish, it was nothing he could work with, that this was crap. Of course, my first 6 months, I cried in the bus on the way home.
And you kept coming back every day?
Of course, I had to come back. But again, that gave me understanding of what not to do as a professional chef and what to do. He had his reasons, again, to be the most awarded chef in the world. He could basically do whatever he wanted. But then that's when I learned that you don't need to use that kind of treat or that kind of way of communication with anybody else. Nobody nobody has the tools, or nobody deserves to be treated like that. And that's how I get my results now. And that's how I develop a fun kitchen and a fun restaurant, is just basically with passion, example, and having fun. It has been a cultural shock sometimes at times, because I come from all the French background, and sometimes I want to scream and punch somebody. I don't. I walk. I grab a cigarette from Anthony. And then I breathe, and I give them the chance. And again, I'm blessed for people to follow me, and for people to want to work with me, and for me to transmit a little bit of my passion and understanding of what I do.
So he taught you a lesson.
Yes, he
that
did.
He didn't
a
even
lot.
know he was teaching you. You turned it around and you made an advantage out of it. You made lemonade out of lemons.
Yes, I try. I
Right?
try every single day. So again, this is our beautiful porchetta. I'm
Looking
gonna
good.
cut down the middle so you guys can see how it looks like. Another secret, always have sharp knives, okay? Invest in your knives. They will last you forever, and they're your best friends. So it's better to have a sharp knife and have a clean cut than a not sharp knife and have a
So sharp knife or a clean car?
clean cut.
Clean car.
Clean
What
car?
do you choose?
Also car, both.
Okay, right? You gotta have them both. Look at that.
So there you go, you see everything.
Wow. Can you smell it? Wow.
Right?
Bravo.
So this is our final product. And again, if you want to make this size, do it, and then you can cut it in pieces, share with your family, give them a slab and be like, take this home. We sell this also in Salati by the pound for your holidays. You can freeze it for sure. Yeah, it holds very well frozen, and the way to reheat it is basically putting a little bit of water or a little bit of stock in the bottom, and you can kind of steam it and then take the aluminum foil off and finish it in the oven and just crisp it back up. If you have it sliced like this one, basically what you do is just heat it up, you put a little bit of water, a little bit of salt, and just let it cook. I love to work with porchetta like this, very thinly sliced. Of course, in the restaurant we have a slicer, but you can grab a sharp knife. And again, it depends on the patience and time that you have, all right? Like, I don't have patience for baking, and I don't. So I leave it to my baker, and they take care of it. I have tried. It's not something that I enjoy, so I enjoy working with my savory. I'm a little bit more aggressive with what I do, and I will never cut my porchetta like this at home. But my wife, you give her the porchetta, she'll slice it like super, super thin. She's very patient, I'm not.
Okay, so I got a quick question.
Yes.
Give me 2 recipes you can make with that. So besides just sliced meat, chefs don't just do sliced meat.
You can do a piadina, which is our Italian flatbreads.
Okay.
So basically we do that, and we invite you guys to try it with us. So we do our flatbread at home, at the restaurant. It's basically very similar. It's in between a flour tortilla and a pita bread. So it's about 12-inch disc of dough. So we put our porchetta, we put a roasted garlic Alfredo on top, some mushrooms, some onions, some spinach, and then cheese, close it, put it in the griddle, and just basically heat it up like a quesadilla. It's fantastic. The flavor of the piadina is very similar to, I cannot even.
Non-bread, tortilla,
It is a crossbread between naan bread, the tortilla. Italians are the kings of flatbreads. So a pizza, it's a flatbread, it's just open-faced. So it's just that experience. Also, you can do it basically as a main dish. We like to top it with tortellini, for example. We grab tortellini. We do it carbonara style with a little bit of pancetta, some green peas, some red onions. And then you can grab your porchetta and just put it on the top if you want. Or you can do a medallion. That's how we do it in the restaurant. We put a medallion in the bottom, the tortellini, and then an egg yolk. The egg yolk will serve you also as more saucy, like that runny. And again, don't worry about the calories for the holidays. Just enjoy it.
Who's counting calories for the holidays?
Yes, no calories.
Forget it.
All right. So again, this is our beautiful finished product. As you see, the pork belly is fully cooked. All right, like it was this thick. This is my pork belly right now. All right, so it's super thin. Okay? We have our apricot chutney, and then we have our final version of the porchetta, which is right here. And I have plenty for all of you guys. All right?
Chef?
Yes.
Anything else? Any questions from the audience for Chef before we try?
Yes, for sure. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, I got a couple questions.
If you're cooking a smaller porchetta, does that also have to be done for 8 hours?
No, great question. Yes. So it really depends. Once you reach the temperature of 165, you can roast it for 1 more hour, and that's basically it. The indicator of when your porchetta is done is going to be your pork belly. So instead of being like this squishy flubber, yeah, it's going to be just like your meat. Okay, it's going to be, basically you're going to be able to rip it off. All right, so once your pork belly is fully melted, all the fat it's melted, you're fine. And the temperature needs to be 165 inside, yes.
Good question. Or you can buy the whole pork.
Or you can buy the full porchetta from us too.
Right. Okay, did you have a question too? Where, okay, do you live in Denver? Dinner.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I brought some of our
Salati.
menus, some cards. You can see our full version of the menus also, so you can see all the dishes that we serve. We're also in the middle of revamping our menu, so you can have more options. All of our sauces, if you have any dietary restrictions or gluten-free, we can make basically anything happen. And that's very hard in Italian restaurants. So we can do pastas gluten-free, flatbreads gluten-free, we can do vegan, we can do vegetarian, we can do no this, yes this, and we do everything from scratch at the moment. So anything that you're craving, we can basically adapt. In the bottom of my menu says, please no substitutions. But that's basically because some people become very creative with some of their dietary restrictions, and then they decompose the whole dish. We create what they had in mind, and then they don't like it. So sometimes we're blamed for it, but then at the end of the day, it was what they chose.
So
That's why we say no substitutions, but we can substitute a little
So
bit
if
here
I
and there.
go and I like something, I can just say, can I have one of these?
Of course.
And that's good?
That's good.
That's what I do. I'm just like, send me that, and
Yes.
that'll be good.
For sure. And if you don't know what to order, we have beautiful servers that are very knowledgeable and that will guide you through it. Sometimes some of the words are a little bit hard to say, or some of the ingredients are not ingredients that you normally use. So again, don't feel shy or afraid to ask, what is this? What's the flavor of it? How do you say it? It's all right. That's why you're there, to learn, to enjoy, and to just forget about life and enjoy good food and company.
Porchetta was with a hard C.
Yes, porchetta.
Like bruschetta.
Exactly.
And
It's like bruschetta, porchetta. Yes.
With a K.
Yes. And basically it means pork. Okay? The female pork, which is how do you call the female pork in English? Is that a such thing?
We don't have feminine and
Okay.
masculine porks.
And there we go. So is the
What is it? Oh,
the
sow.
girl of the little pigs. Any other question, guys?
I like it. All right, so should
No.
we give a warm round of applause? Thank you very much, Chef Shahin.
So thank you
and-
guys. The recipe's here. I'll give some samples right now. And again, join us. We're Salati Italian Street Food in the shops of Northfield, open from 11 to 9 to 10 p.m.
Where's Northfield?
So Northfield, have you guys seen the Pro Bass shops that just on that strip? We're in front of the movie theaters, so you won't miss us.
So it's Quebec and I-70.
Quebec and I-70.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And yeah, so you won't miss us. And then you can ask also if you get a little lost, they'll tell you. And we're the only family-owned local restaurant in that shopping area. So support local, it's very important. And that's why we're here, to support all our local distributors. All right?
Thank you, Chef. Let's
Thank
try
you.
some
My pleasure.
porchetta. Excellent job.
My pleasure.
Good, that was great. What can I do to help?
Basically,
Sauce plates, what do you need?
I have